people would be.
Yeah, I enjoyed it yesterday, and it's time to talk to Boog Sciambi. He joins us on the Yuengling hotline. Yuengling is in Chicago after an amazing 196 years. You can enjoy Yuengling traditional lager, light lager, golden pilsner, black and tan, and flight. And I saw Boog yesterday because I had all three TVs working for the first time in a while with the tournament on and what else was I watching? Because I wasn't watching the Bulls.
Right. You don't have the Bulls.
I think it was both the NCAA games and then the Cubs.
Yeah.
And Boog, you chose the red glasses last night. That was an intriguing surprise for me.
Yeah, I mean, we just figured we just come out hot and just see what would happen. And it definitely clashed with my hair and with the new marquee background. So I think, all things considered, it was a win.
How many frames do you have?
I probably at this point have a good 6 or 7 now.
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to say even more than that.
One for every day of the week. No. One for every day of the week. You switch them up every night.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I stick to. I'm going to wear just some tortoise shells tonight. So I've been breaking out my contacts a little bit more frequently too. So,
oh, very nice.
You got to have them. People, the ladies need to see the haze alive.
By the way, how have you been? You've had a lot of basketball you've been doing now into the baseball season. How's it been for you?
Great. I mean, this is a magnificent time of year. I love that I still get excited for this time of year and to get it going, and the basketball's happening, and obviously during the season I'm super invested in that. So I'm great right now.
I want to play you this because this is from CHSN. I'm sure you saw it on social media or something, the Bulls finish. But from a broadcaster as good as you and Adam Amin, we're very lucky that we have Adam Amin and you in this town. We have Joniak for the Bears. I loved when Benetti was here, and I thought like you, Amin, and Benetti on television were as good as it got. So this is Adam Amin with Stacey King. From a fellow broadcaster, I'm going to play you this. I want you to tell me how good of a call this is for the Bulls' final sequence. Take a listen.
12 seconds left. Bulls have to hurry.
Weird.
Get it into Vucevic. Quick pass to Williams. Big shot for 3. Good. 2-point game. 9.8 left. Oh, who's Giddy? The steal. Right for the lead. Yeah!
Big-time players make big-time plays. Kobe, wait. Sub-Zero. Bang, bang, bang.
What a wild sequence. And the Cardiac Bulls have done it again. Here's Reeves. Reeves straight to the cup. Lays it in to take the lead. Bulls are out of timeouts. 2 seconds left. Giddy for the win.
Go! Oh, my God! I cannot believe this. Elizabeth, I'm coming, baby. Oh, Lord.
Improbable.
Unbelievable.
Impossible.
Magic Giddy. Good day, mate. Somewhere in Australia, Sydney, or Melbourne, Paul Hogan and somebody there, Crocodile Dundee. Oh, Lord.
You're a big broadcast nerd, too, like me. How good was that, Boog?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, the broadcasting dork in me enjoys, I'd already heard the whole clip, but the broadcasting dork in me really enjoys the beginning where it's still unlikely and his voice is in, the place that reflects what's happening in terms of the game. And then, it's just so unexpected that they deliver in that spot. I mean, I wish you could see me just sitting here smiling, listening to it. It's pretty perfect.
The sequence was just amazing. It was just amazing. And you know what? You had a few good calls last night because, boy, they came out, with their sticks and took their walks and put some pressure on the defense and little bit of everything. I think that's the offense everybody wants to see as many nights as possible, Boog. And look, I think we all agreed in the offseason PCA could be an X factor, and I hope every little leaguer was watching that play because that could be a season-defining play if we look back at this team in 100 games. And
Game 3, season-defining.
Yes, because that I think that's what Craig Counsell wants to see. And the fact that they talked about it all spring. The Yankees are not talking about running the bases the way the Cubs are talking about it, the way the Brewers are talking about it. And I feel like that's a defining moment for an offense that wants to change who they are a little bit.
Yeah, look, we're talking so much about the measurables and the bigger things, and a play like that because of, I mean, he's got certainly innate baseball IQ, but the speed, you know, you can't teach it. He's probably one of the 5 fastest guys in the sport. And they also, by the way, I mean, as a group, I got to camp this year, and one of the things, like, I think it was probably the first full day of workouts, and to watch the position players run and to just watch Birdie and Bruhan and PCA and Nico. I mean, and then we keep talking about Shaw's bat, but he can scoot, man. So you're right. They're not talking about the Yankees running the bases the way they talk about the Brewers doing it, and the Cubs will try and do it as well. And be clear, the team they're playing tonight will try and do it in the macro as well. They will try to impact the game by being a really good base running team. And one of the other points that I would make is a good base running team is likely going to make outs on the bases.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you're going to see them be aggressive, but yeah, look, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't know but I understand, Jesse, exactly what your point is. And I stand right there with you in terms of, look, you know, we know about the slug, and we know about, you know, the questions with what are they going to do in the bullpen and that type of thing. But little stuff like that helps to keep innings going, and it sets them apart. And they just have so many guys that are capable of delivering above average speed.
Yeah, it just feels like a lengthy lineup when they're doing it. My follow-up to that is, you know, Counsell better than anybody around here. Do you think the year at Wrigley that he spent where the weather really did not help slug has pushed him in this direction even more than he already was? Because we know this was the identity of the Brewers in the first place. But when you have a volatile home park, speed never slumps.
Yeah, but I don't think I think that. So my answer would be no.
Okay.
I think that he would do this because it's a strength and it's a good play, and that's what he's always going to try to maximize. Like, you're going to control the controllables. You know, you can't control the weather. The weather very easily this year at home could be, you know, hitter's haven. Mm-hmm. And we didn't talk a ton about how, you know, the Cubs pitching last year was pretty darn good, buoyed by pitching half their games at home. So, we don't discuss that as much as how the offense struggled at home. So, no, I don't think it's impacted. He's not leaning into it anymore. He leans into it because he thinks it's something that they're good at, and it's something that, you know, sets them apart, I would say.
There's a lot of intriguing stories. We've touched on them for the last week or two about this team, Boog. Like, everyone's got their favorite. Is there a storyline, a single player that you're most intrigued on watching this through here in the 2025 season?
Look, I love Pete because I think the human is pretty special for a 23-year-old kid. He's got awareness, and I mean, Jesse can attest to, he's just interesting. He's got good feel when you talk to him. He gives good answers. He's thoughtful. He's competitive and aggressive and sweet and smart. But I would tell you that for me, you want to know what there's one person I'm most looking forward to watching, and it's Kyle Tucker, man. Like, the one thing that the Cubs have really lacked since the peak Rizzo Bryant years is having the best player on the field, man. Mm-hmm. And this guy's going to be the best player on the field a lot of nights. If he plays to his level of capability, it's an MVP caliber type of deal. When you're talking about, you know, war leaders in the outfield the last 4 years, you're talking about him, Judge, Soto, and Betts. But think about that. I mean, those are the names. And I just don't think that even our fans totally understand what they've gotten. It doesn't mean it's necessarily 100% going to happen, but I'm excited to watch a guy that is the Cubs' best player. And, I mean, like, if you had to bet on it, he will be their best player this year. And most nights he will be the best player on the field. And that excites me. I think, we all love watching our team win. But ultimately, we like watching sports in large part because we like greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And so the combo we like is we don't just like watching the Bulls win. We like watching the Bulls win and they have Michael Jordan because he's great. So, like, you want to watch a team win, but it's even more fun when they win and they have Ohtani, when they have Judge. And I'm not saying he's quite in that class, but he's a monster. Again, he is their best player, not close.
So talk me then through this, because we just had the similar discussion with the Bulls about, like, getting excited about this stretch, getting excited about that buzzer beater, but worrying about the big picture and if they're ever going to get to where we want to go. I'd rather own than rent, Boog. So what do you say to someone like me or some other Cubs fans who are worried that we're just renting Tucker for the year, the greatness for a year, only to watch him leave our company in a year?
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Well, you usually have a wise,
Him.
You usually have a wise answer for me.
I would say that I don't know that my answer is as wise as it is empathetic. I understand. I want him to stay too. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I get it. I'd want him here as well. I hope it happens. I don't know what else to say. If they're going to take it, look, if they're going to get back to that level that we're talking about, that, the thing that Craig Counsell talked about late in the year last year and building 90-win teams, it's really hard to do it without great players. And he's a great player. So, yeah, I hope he sticks around. I hear you. I can't put my Karnak hat on and tell you what's going to happen.
I think it's a fascinating situation with the Cubs and Jed Hoyer and Kyle Tucker, and so the pressure to make the playoffs. I don't want to use the word palpable, but it is there. If you want, you don't have to use the word pressure. Whatever it is, we know this is a playoff caliber team and a playoff season for them. I don't want to say playoffs or bust, but it's as close as you're going to get. Until recently, Boog, I was really high on them kind of winning it and Milwaukee taking a dip. I don't know about Milwaukee taking the dip, and that's another team you know well. I think it's going to be a much closer race than last year. Maybe the Cubs come out on top, but I don't think Milwaukee's taking the dip that we all keep assuming they're going to take.
Look, I think you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
Because they continually, from David Stearns to Matt Arnold and the job Pat Murphy did last year, they definitely have some secret sauce there where, it is speed and defense based. They've made some really good decisions and, found some gold, and obviously scouting as well. I think Curio is going to be an absolute monster despite punching out 5 times yesterday. I would agree, Jesse. I think it probably will be a fight. I think that the Reds, will be interesting. But if you make me play it, I bet on the Cubs, and I like my bet.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Boog, tell me about your pick to win the tournament. You've done a lot of Big 12 games. We had John all winter long. You've seen some of the best teams out there. So who's going to win it all?
I think Duke is going to win it all. I know that it's not sexy, but in order, I would do Duke Auburn, and but I would say for me, there's a small part of me that thinks it would be fun if a team like Houston, even though they're a 1 seed, they'd be marked underdogs. I think last year, if Shed had been healthy, they would have beaten Duke. But I think it's in the realm of possibility. I don't think it's like a 5% chance that Houston wins it all. But I think that the smart money is on Duke, but look, you know how this stuff works, like from a probability standpoint, it's like go back to baseball for a second. I think that the Dodgers are amazing, and, they probably would be my pick to win the World Series. But even still, if you gave me a choice of the Dodgers or the field, like I'd take the field,
Just because of math, yeah. How do you feel? I saw Passan talk about this, and I'm bouncing back to baseball too because of what you just said. We get a lot of fans who say the Dodgers are ruining baseball, and I say that the teams who don't spend at all are the teams I have the bigger issue with, because the Dodgers are playing within the rules that were collectively bargained. So why should I blame them? I would love for my team to do that. So what do you? So you agree with that?
What I would say, and I would also say this, and this is part of it. Baseball deals with this perception problem. Like, I don't know. In the end, like we have to set sort of what the parameters are. But I would tell you this: as of right now, the Dodgers are absolutely not ruining baseball when they've won 2 World Series over the course of the last 30 years. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if they win the next 4 World Series, then we're having a very interesting conversation. But it's not. Baseball hasn't had a repeat champion since the Yankees in 2000.
Yeah.
So, we could sit here and say they're ruining it, but if they win 4 straight or 3 straight, then maybe that becomes a little more of an argument. But as long as, the Pirates don't reinvest their revenue sharing money to the level that, some people think they should, teams reprimanded for not doing it. And as long as smart teams like the Rays and the Brewers are able to figure out ways to do it on a budget, it clearly shows, yes, the Yankees and the Dodgers have an advantage. And I also would say this in all full honesty, I do think that advantage is growing. But those teams, like, you run your team in a smart fashion, and you have opportunity. You just do. So I guess, again, so to put a bow on it, like, Sylvie, I would just say this: if in 3 years the Dodgers have won every World Series, I will come back on and be like, the Dodgers are ruining baseball. I'm totally with you. But you can't – it may feel bad that they're getting all the players. It may feel bad, but if they don't get to the World Series this year, like, what are we talking about?
Having said that, Boog, I think they will. You might be coming back on in 3. And I'll tell you why. It's not the day they signed Tanner Scott that got me. It's 4 days later when they signed Kirby Yates. It's Andrew Freeman has done something I don't think any championship team has done. He's gotten even deeper and better for the return engagement. And so it's one thing to sign the frontline guys, but to sign the secondary guys, the best arm and then the second best arm, essentially.
Buddy, I get it. Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
I get you. But you can't. You and I know, like, it's sports talk radio, but and I'm familiar with Jesse's work, but like, Jess, you can't get too excited too quickly. Like, I agree, I'd pick them too. But they haven't won yet.
Yeah.
So they're not ruining anything.
No, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. By the way, I have to ask you one thing. I thought you had one of the greatest segues to the bottom of the 9th inning that was not.
Do you want me to play it?
That wasn't real.
This is Jesse's idea, by the way, Boog.
It was hilarious.
Here, let me play this. We played you the Bulls call. This is your call yesterday in the 9th.
Yeah.
On the ground, right side, Marte gathers it in. And Happ retired. But Miguel Amaya have a night. He knocks in 5. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. And it is 10-5, and that's only out number 2. Kyle Tucker's going to hit. How many outs?
Had me convinced. I was putting the line.
You were done?
2 runs on 2 hits.
So that was not the 3rd out.
Sometimes the most entertaining moments come from screw-ups, right, Boog? Now,
so what's the deal? They're doing this 3-out thing every inning? How it works? I don't.
Let me follow up because we play that for you, but I've done the sideline with him in the booth for 3 straight playoffs, and let me tell you something. He's in my ear. This is one of the best in the business at being that traffic cop. So to hear him do one little tiny mistake in the first game is meaningless because he's as good as they come. There you go.
Well, that's nice of you to say. It's look, man. I mean, you guys know it. It's just you're going to make mistakes. I mean, think about this. If we sat there and just did trying to pitch a perfect game, like saying every single word that you wanted to come out today, it's nearly impossible.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
It's just, and you just have to turn the page and say, hey, I screwed it up.
Yep.
And hopefully I don't do it again tonight. But I'm not promising anything.
Yeah, but it was fine. I mean, no harm, no foul, really.
I blame the red glasses.
All right. Well, I'm not wearing them tonight. So there you go.
Good.
There you go.
All right, Boog. Great stuff. We'll be watching tonight.
Love you guys.
Even up
Yeah,
that
you
record
too.
tonight, Boog. See you, pal.
He's the best.
Bye.